Today we're going to read a story called My Rows and Piles of Coins. This story takes place in Tanzania, which is a country in Africa. In this story, a young boy saves his money for something special that will help his family. Have you ever saved money for something special? Look closely at the money in his hands. What do you notice? After a good day at the market, my mother, Yayo, gave me 5 whole 10-cent coins. I gaped at the money until Yayo nudged me. Saruni, what are you waiting for? Go and buy yourself something. I plunged into the market. I saw roasted peanuts, chapati, rice cakes, and sambusa. There were wooden toys, trucks, kites, and slingshots. My heart beat excitedly. I wanted to buy everything, but I clutched my coins tightly in my pocket. So Saruni plunged into the busy market with lots of things for sale. Do you think he's excited? At the edge of the market, I stopped. In a neat, sparkling row stood several big new bicycles. One of them was decorated all over with red and blue. That's what I would buy. For some time now, Muret, my father, had been teaching me to ride his big, heavy bicycle. If only I had a bicycle of my own. A gruff voice startled me. What are you looking for, little boy? I turned and bumped into a tall, skinny man who laughed at my confusion. Embarrassed, I hurried back to Yayo. That night, I dropped 5 10-cent coins into my secret money box. It held other 10-cent coins Yayo had given me for helping with the market work on Saturdays. By the dim light of the lantern, I feasted my eyes on the money. I couldn't believe it was all mine. I emptied the box, arranged all the coins in piles and all the piles in rows. Then I counted the coins and thought about the bicycle I longed to buy. Do you think he has enough money to buy the bicycle? Every day after school, when I wasn't helping Yayo to prepare supper, I asked Muret if I could ride his bicycle. He held the bicycle steady while I rode around, my toes barely touching the pedals. Whenever Muret let go, I wobbled, fell off, or crashed into things. Other children from the neighborhood had a good laugh watching me. Go on, laugh, I thought. Sore but determined. Soon I would be like a cheetah on wheels, racing on errands with my very own bicycle. Saturday after Saturday, we took goods to market, piled high on Yayo's head and on my squeaky old wheelbarrow. We sold dried beans and maize, pumpkins, spinach, bananas, firewood, and eggs. My money grew heavier. I emptied the box, arranged the coins in piles and the piles in rows. Then I counted the coins and thought about the blue and red bicycle. After several more lessons, Muret let me ride on my own while he shouted instructions. Eyes up, arms straight, keep pedaling, slow down. I enjoyed the breeze on my face. the pedals turning smoothly under my feet, and most of all, Yayo's proud smile as she watched me ride. How surprised she would be to see my new bicycle, and how grateful she would be when I used it to help her on market days. The heavy March rains came. The ground became so muddy, nobody went to the market. I helped Yayo with house chores. When it wasn't raining, I helped Murette on the coffee farm. We pruned the coffee trees and put fallen leaves and twigs around the coffee stems. Whenever I could, I practiced riding Murette's bicycle. It stopped raining in June, not long after school closed. Our harvest, fresh maize and peas, sweet potatoes, vegetables, and fruits, was so big we went to market on Saturdays and Wednesdays. My money grew heavier and heavier. I emptied the box, arranged the coins in piles, and the piles in rows. Then I counted the coins and thought about the bicycle I would buy. A few days later, I grew confident enough to try to ride a loaded bicycle. When I attempted to pedal, the bicycle wobbled so dangerously that Murette alongside me had to grab it. "All right, Saruni, the load is too heavy for you," he said, and I got off. Mounting the bicycle to ride back to the house, he sighed wearily and hard on my bones, which are getting too old for pedaling. I practiced daily with smaller loads, and slowly I learned to ride a loaded bicycle. No more pushing the squeaky old wheelbarrow, I thought. I would ride with my load tall and proud on my bicycle, just like Murette. So he's working hard on a loaded bicycle. What do you think he's going to do next? This is hard work for him. On the first Saturday after school opened in July, we all went to market as usual. Late in the afternoon, after selling all we had, Yayo sat talking with another trader. I set off into the crowd. I wore an old coat Murette had handed down to me for the chilly July days like today. My precious coins were wrapped in various bundles inside the oversized pockets of the coat. I must be the richest boy in the world, I thought, feeling like a king. I can buy anything. The tall, skinny man was polishing his bicycles as I came up. "I want to buy a bicycle," I said, and brought out my bundles of coins. The man whistled in wonder as I unwrapped the money carefully on the table. "How many coins have you got there?" Proudly, I told him, 305. 305, he muttered. That's 30 shillings and 50 cents. He exploded with laughter. "A whole bicycle for 30 shillings and 50 cents? His laugh followed me as I walked away with my bundles of coins, deeply disappointed. How do you think he feels after meeting the bicycle seller? On our way home, Yayo asked what was wrong, and I had to tell her everything. "You saved all your money for a bicycle to help me?" she asked. I could tell she was amazed and touched. "How nice of you." And as for the skinny man, she scoffed, Oi, what does he know? Of course you will buy a bicycle. One day you will. Her kind words did not cheer me. The next afternoon, the sound of a peeky peeky filled the air. Tuk, 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 tuk. I came out of the house and stared in astonishment. Muret was perched on an orange motorbike. He cut the engine and dismounted. Then, chuckling at my excited questions about the picky picky, he headed into the house. When Muret came out, Yeo was with him, and he was wheeling his bicycle. I want to sell this to you. For 30 shillings and 50 cents, he winked at me. Surprised, I stared at Muret. How did he know about my secret money box? I hadn't told him anything. And then suddenly I realized the wonderful thing that had just happened. My bicycle. I have my very own bicycle, I said, and it didn't matter at all that it wasn't decorated with red and blue. Within moments, I had brought Muret my money box. Muret gave Yeo the box. Yeo in turn gave it to me. Puzzled, I looked from Yeo to Muret and Yeo again. You're giving it back to me? Yeo smiled. It is a reward for all your help to us. Thank you, I cried gleefully. Why do you think Muret gives Saruni his bicycle? And how does that make Saruni feel? The next Saturday, my load sat tall and proud on my bicycle, which I walked importantly to market. I wasn't riding it because Yeo could have never kept up. Looking over at Yeo, I wished she didn't have to carry such a big load on her head. If only I had a cart to pull behind my bicycle, I thought, I could lighten her load. That night, I emptied the box, arranged all the coins in piles and the piles in rows. Then I counted the coins and thought about the cart I would buy.